Guys, Advocate Mshololo did a lot of damage into this thing, right? Yeah, I did at first. I didn't see where she was going, but I was now when I was following, I began to realize that yeah, guys, this woman is doing a lot. This woman is doing a lot of damage here. Tumelo, after the incident, he goes back and he lives in the same house with the Khumalos. It is the Khumalos that deposited the money to Tumelo. You don't follow this. I see, right? Hey, guys, I'm going to put a picture here. I'm going to put a picture. Did you notice that the defense, they were playing more or less around this issue of head, right? Tumelo described his head and say this head belongs to the intruder. I was like, yeah. Tumelo bafethu. Tumelo takes his head, describe his head as the head of the intruder. Have you noticed that almost three of the defense, they asked that question, and Mshololo wants him to describe the head, and the judge keep interfering. Gandhi, the defense knew Tumelo was wearing that hat on the day because they already have the pictures, which you and I have those pictures. You know what I'm saying? So Tumelo is busy. What Mshololo was doing was like, she wanted Tumelo to describe his own head, and the judge interfered. He wanted Tumelo to incriminate himself to that extent. You know, do you see how the crime scene was manipulated? Do you see how these dirty cops did? Sure. Oh, but we're about to unpack. Provided that you're interested. If you are interested, then please stick around. As you stick around, I put it to you that you subscribe, you like the video, and you comment in the comment section below. I put it to you that you click the like button. You click the like button, you comment, and you watch this video longer. It tells the algorithm to say, people like this video. Let's promote it to more people. You know what we did with that video of Chico Twala confession, right? Do you notice that we took that video to 51,000 views in a space of less than a day? So we can with other videos too. You know what I'm saying? The power is in your hands. I put it to you that you watch the ads. That's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel, and it's the best way you can contribute. So I put it to you that you do all of these things now. Don't wait now. We need to get to 20,000 subscribers, and we will get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of August. We will get there. Lastly, before we get back into the business, good people, I just want to take this opportunity to appreciate your love and support. Really, from the bottom of my heart, I pray to God never to take pride, never to have pride because of the things that you guys are doing. I pray to the Almighty to remain the same. I'm looking at the love that you guys are giving me. When I say I was never going to be able to post a video because I'm tired, others told me to drink Red Bull. I saw you. You know what I'm saying? But others have wished me well in my rest. And among the people that have wished me well as well is my fellow colleague, whom I love. She's doing incredible, and I salute her. She goes by the name of Lelo N Podcast. I really salute her work. I saw her as well. And to Lelo N, thank you very much. Guys, before I start, don't you think she owes me a collaboration? I don't know. What you think? Don't you think she owes me a collaboration? But nevertheless, I see. Let's leave it there. Lelo Kakachen, Mandlov, Makachen. We need a collaboration there. Nevertheless, this thing starts this way. Advocate Mshololo. I'm gonna focus largely on Advocate Mshololo because she's the one that did the damage. The others, don't take them for granted. Never. Don't take Advocate Ramasipele for granted. Advocate Khumalo for granted. Advocate Nisi for granted. Yeah, well, Advocate Nisi, he's very silly. Advocate Nisi, he's this guy that poked the holes. but leave it like that. That's advocateness. These people are look at the way they sit. Look at the way they are structured there. The first person to deal with the person is always Advocate Ramasipile, then followed by Advocate Mnisi, then followed by Advocate Khumalo, then the last one is Advocate Mshololo. Look at their personalities. Advocate Mshololo, she's more or less like I think she is a choleric of some sort. A choleric is people that are born leaders. They have authority. You know what I'm saying? They are one of the downside of them. They've got a lot of pride, sense of arrogance. That's the disadvantage of them, and that's what you will sense as well with Advocate Mshololo. Advocate Mshololo, you must look at her facial expression when she talks about qualification. I like her as well. You know what I'm saying? By the way, Advocate Mshololo and I, we go to the same church. It's just that we have never met in the same church, but she is in a different branch somewhere. But I know we are in the same church. So I'm saying the criticism that I'm giving her, I'm not giving her because I don't love her. I love her to that core, but I've never met her. But people that I know have been with her, taken pictures with her. Now, Advocate Mshololo, you must look at Advocate Mshololo when she's talking about qualifications. She takes a lot of pride in qualifications, and her facial expression when she's dealing with the person who's unqualified seems to have this thing of belittling you. You know what I'm saying? It seems to have that arrogancy thing. It's the tendencies of cholerics. So we've got 4 temperaments. You've got choleric, sanguine, melancholy. I forgot this 4th one. For choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. Yes. If you look at Advocate Mnisi, he's like a phlegmatic. Yes. Phlegmatic are those people who are very flirty. They are, their jaw. Yeah, they've got that vibe. You know what I'm saying? That is Advocate Mnisi. He will poke the hole. But when he's done, what they did with Tumelo, they understood that he's so arrogant. So they were like, we're going to be soft with Tumelo. And we're going to allow him to do whatever he wants to do, but we'll be very strategic with Tumelo. So they took a very different strategic. But when Advocate Mshololo took over, she was like, you know what, let me set the rules in the house. You're answering questions, you're not asking questions, right? And Tumelo keep persisting and is like, remember, that's how it works. Unfortunately, that's how it works in the court. You are here to answer my questions. And then the questions were asked. Then I was like, wow. So then the question that I noted, because there are a lot of things that happened, but the question that I noted was, why did you choose to go back with Khumalo after the incident? That's the first question. Remember that you are here with you are here to visit Senzo, not Kelly Khumalo, right? But after the incident, instead of maybe taking a lift with Mandisa, getting into a car with Mandisa, probably Mandisa was going back to KZN. Probably Mandisa would have offered you a place because the person you are here for, his death. But you still chose the Khumalo. Guys, that question is very important. Tumelo chose the Khumalo family from the beginning. Chose to side with the Khumalo family from the beginning. A person that was a culprit, but somehow, that's why I told you that somehow I'm told, it's Tumelo that struck me as Peter before conviction. So arrogant, so confident, you know what I'm saying? So from the word go, you chose to go with the Khumalos. You chose to side with the Khumalos from the beginning. But it's not necessarily the depth of this doesn't necessarily lies much or largely on whether or not you chose, but the facts here are the time you spent with the Khumalos. Let me remind you. Do you remember that it is on record, it is the evidence in chief that one, Khumalos did not call the ambulance. 1, 2, the Khumalos did not call the police. 3, on the day of incident, police are busy doing their investigation. They go to the Kelly Khumalo's house in Malbatin. Guess what Kelly Khumalo did? And told the security that they shouldn't allow them. She denied police access when the incident was still fresh and police wants to gather as much evidence as possible. During the time where she denies the police evidence, she is with who? Tumelo. The same Tumelo that has betrayed himself and described his own head as a head wearing by the intruder. That's why you see that this thing was never there. So I don't know if you see what I'm saying. So if you deny police to access to come and gather evidence when the crime scene was fresh, when your memories are still that fresh, you know what I'm saying, then you are with Tumelo, chances of you cooking the story are actually 110%. Do you see now why the question was important? To say you are with them, you chose to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Let's leave that one. The second one, the advocate poked this question in. It's a direct question. You were with Zandi and Kelly. And then Togo goes to a point where he explains that, please note, this is crucial. The following information is crucial. Not only did he tells us that he was with Kelly and Zandi, but also Khumalo was there. Also, it was Khumalo also continuing cooking at Malbatin. Guess what? We are told that Kelly, was in the house. She locked herself in the house. Well, we don't have evidence for that. There's no way. There's no way, unless she was busy with some rituals, because we are told that after the incident, they went for some ritual to this traditional healer. So far, we can't call it a fact, but we are told there's an evidence that proves that they went to a person for cleansing. You know what I'm saying? So we will leave that one. We'll come back to that one later on. So Tumelo mentioned specifically that, yes, I was there, but the person that continued to cook for me and for the others, it is Khumalo. Then advocate Usile umshololo Usile. Advocate Usile. So the Khumalo were doing you favors. And Tumelo, he sees this conversation is going somewhere now. He's like, no, not favors. He's like, wait a minute. Didn't they send you money? Says, yes, but but the money was sent by Kelly. Sorry, guys, yes. Wait, after the incident, the people that gave you the house was the Khumalos. Yes, after the incident, they also fed you. Yeah, those were favors. I'm like, yeah, the advocate Usile. Advocate Usile. Who's advocate Mshololo la para begasuko ugusa. You know what I'm saying? Usile. Advocate Tumelo. So he asked that question to say, wait a minute, so they give you food and all the stuff. They were busy feeding you. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes to one of the points that were mentioned here. Tumelo, what were you drinking? Then Tumelo tells us what he was drinking, right? The type of alcohol that he was drinking. Then advocate asked this question. So Tumelo, the type of alcohol that you were drinking, it's not depicted in this picture. Am I right? Correct? Tumelo says yes. Actually, this is not depicted. Do you know where we're going with this? You don't understand. It sounds like a stupid question. Do you remember that according to the other docket, Mapiri will be arrested for tampering with evidence? Do you see what I'm going, right? Where I'm going with this. So the questions that they are asking him now, they are leading to Mapiri. Some of the questions, some of the questions that they are asking, they know that Kelly will be summoned to come and testify. So they are asking questions so that they can weigh against the evidence that Kelly will give, right? They are asking questions so that they can weigh it against the evidence that Mapiri will give, right? They are asking questions so that they can weigh it against the evidence that will be given by Longo. Do you see where we're going with this? So don't undermine some of the questions that are being asked here. they are very important. They are leading us somewhere. But now they understand that they are building something for the future, while now we are fixated upon the now. And you know what I'm saying? So he asked that question, and then now we understand that Mapiri really messed up with the crime scene, and she will be arrested for that. That I'm glad she will be arrested for that. Defeating the ends of justice. She'll be arrested for that. Now, this is where the expose happened again. Do you remember a public figure told us that whilst they were working, she was the one busy removing the cans. You know what I'm saying? That's why the cans are not depicted in the pictures that were taken. Only 2 cans were depicted, right? Do you remember that? So the question was asked, did you see anyone, any person, whilst you were busy drinking? Did you see anybody removing the crime scene? I mean, removing the alcohol, putting them in somewhere, maybe in the dustbin. And then he went hard on Zandi Khumalo. Bah, bah, bah. Nobody was doing that. Remember, these people are sitting here and say, I've never seen anybody doing that. So Zandi Khumalo told us that whilst people were busy drinking alcohol, she was busy. What? She was busy doing what? Let me hear from you. She was busy doing what? Let me hear from you. She was busy removing cans on the crime. Oh, look, whilst they were busy drinking, she was busy. She was the one taking the cans. And I told you guys that was unrealistic. I don't drink alcohol, but I know for a fact I've lived next to people that are drinking alcohol. I know for a fact it's not possible. Even people when they are braaiing, nobody can tell me that whilst we are braaiing, you're done. You just clean up fast. No. When you are done eating and all the stuff, people start cleaning. So Zandi Khumalo tells us that you drink of alcohol, quick, done. And then Zandi Khumalo take that can, put it in the dustbin. How realistic is that one? Or she waits for 5 people to finish their alcohol and then she takes their cans. How realistic is that one? What I know for a fact is that those cans could have been put somewhere. Could have been, that I cannot contest. But to say that people were busy cleaning them out, that means when we were not enjoying, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, look, there's a lot that we need to talk about as far as that case is concerned. And we will definitely talk about that. We'll continue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot. So, Advocate Mshololo faced the question again in a very strategic way, up to the point where you took Senzo Meyiwa to the hospital. Did you, for somehow, remember the first one, forget about the first question, about the cans. But the other question was also strategic. Up to the point where you were going to the hospital, did you see anybody removing the alcohol cans? And Tumelo says, no. You know why that question was important? Because according to the judge, says that we can also call a witness. Like we can call back Zandi Khumalo to come and testify again. So Tumelo is basically burying Zandi Khumalo to the core. Up to the point where we went to the hospital, beside the point where we were sitting in the house. Okay, let me explain this. The first question was more or less like, during the time when you were sitting there drinking your alcohol, did you see anybody removing the cans and all the stuff? Tumelo says no. Then the question moves from there, and then it now targets the time where Senzo Meyiwa was already shot, right? Where they are now preparing to go to the hospital. Up to that point, you know, did you see maybe somebody busy cleaning the floor? You know what I'm saying? Or did you see anybody doing that? And then Tumelo answer and gives me a very realistic answer and say, no, I didn't. So listen to this. Every can of alcohol that they have consumed. This is very important. Every can of alcohol that they have consumed was there. Up to the point where they left for hospital, cans of alcohol were there. So they left everything there. Look, now you understand when I say, when Zandi Khumalo left the house to Mapiri, she went there to tell Mapiri to come and clean the crime scene. Because Tumelo says, up to the point where we all left the house to the hospital, everything was as it was. You know what I'm saying? As it was before drinking alcohol. All the cans were there. So now the witnesses that said that Mapiri arrived there and began cleaning the crime scene and was asked, why are you cleaning the crime scene? And she said that because she doesn't want the police to see that they were drinking alcohol. It's now beginning to make more sense. So the question was also channeling there to say, to make it clear that, oh, so clearly the crime scene was cleaned during the time when these people have left to the hospital. I don't know if you see where we're going with this. You know what I'm saying? We're going somewhere. So Tumelo had came and exposed Mapiri, exposed Zandi Khumalo. You know what I'm saying? Big time. Then, how did Longwe push the person who look? How did Longwe push these people now? So Togosis says, I mean, I don't know that one. You know what I'm saying? He pushed him. He pushed the armed person. But whoa. There's another expose that is coming up. Yeah, advocate him Shololo Bafetu. Advocate him Shololo Bafetu. He did the damage to Tumelo big time, right? So Tumelo refused to answer and as to certain things and said that I know they will come and answer them. Now the question was asked, did you see Longwe coming back? Did you see Longwe, you know what I'm saying, even at the hospital? No, I did. I never saw Longwe even at the hospital. No problem. Right. Did you see Longo Twala at the hospital? No, I didn't see him. Remember, I played a video where Longwe Twala tells us that he arrived there and found Senzo lying. But according to the testimony from Zandi Khumalo, Longwe Twala, I'm not sorry, so I said Longwe Twala, Chico Twala found Senzo Meyiwa lying. According to the testimony given by Zandi Khumalo, Longwe Twala only arrived at the hospital. And according to that testimony, if you follow the sequence, Longwe Twala never had an opportunity to say anything to Senzo Meyiwa, no, to see him. He arrived at the hospital and it was explained to him. The reason also he couldn't have that time because Senzo Meyiwa was already with the doctors. And after that, the person that had the chance to interact, the doctors only called Khumalo to explain that, and the next person that went to see the body of Senzo Meyiwa and remove the earrings, it is Khumalo. Also, Mtogo or Tumelo followed him between the two, followed her, Uzandi Khumalo. Chico Twala never had that opportunity to see Senzo Meyiwa, right? Now we are told to this guy, I've never seen Chico Twala at hospital. Who's lying between Zandi and Doc? Another expose. Bah! Ha! You don't see where we're going. Khumalo took Senzo Meyiwa's phone. Hey, that's another one. I was like, wow, wait a minute. Yo, Tumelo Bafetu, Tumelo. Ha! Khumalo, she's the one that took Senzo Meyiwa's phone. And then Tumelo even back it up by saying, Tumelo Bafetu. Tumelo exposed Khumalo and say, Khumalo took Senzo Meyiwa's phone. Khumalo took Senzo Meyiwa's ID. Khumalo took Senzo Meyiwa's car, refused to give all of those things. And she kept saying, it is my baby daddy's things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wait a minute. Do you remember Colonel Stale saying that the person that did the SIM swap had the ID? Now Moses said the ID was with Zandi. Tumelo comes and say the ID was with Zandi. SIM swap. So Tumelo says, he did not assault suspect number one. I'm gonna do a review weekend. Will come. This point is very important, right? Somebody says Tumelo was assaulting suspect number one, Zandi Khumalo. Then Tumelo says, "Yeah, I didn't do that, right?" So Bambuzage, only me, only Tumelo and Sonzo Meyiwa, they were busy with suspect number 2. You see the story that is not making sure there. Hey, but it's fine. We'll leave that one. Now, Advocate Mshololo did the damage again and asked this question and said this statement. Do you know that the NDPP, I don't know why they wrote NDPP, because if you go and check the abbreviation, according to what I've checked, correct me if I'm wrong, it's National Prosecuting Authority, right? So I don't understand certain words there, because it just said Gauteng. Do you know that the NDPP of Gauteng confirmed that all people in the house will be prosecuted? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, maybe if I'm right by saying it's the National Prosecuting Authority that says everybody that was in that house must be arrested. In other words, will be arrested for the death of Senzo Meyiwa. You know what I'm saying? They need to account. So Advocate Mshololo was reading a letter to say, this is the letter from the NDPP, NDPP, yes, NDPP, to say we will definitely, we must prosecute the people that were in the house. They must be arrested. Now let's move to this one as well. Hey, you know, you don't understand the importance of this question until you understand its significance. The question was, Chikotwala comes. Okay, before you get to Chikotwala, do you remember that Zandi Khumalo refused to grant access to police who were coming to gather more evidence? During the same night where this incident has happened, she refused to grant them access. Do you remember that? The day after that, Chikotwala arrives there, and Chikotwala gives Khumalo an offer to take a holiday to a place of her choice. Number one, an incident of this magnitude has happened, right? So since an incident of this magnitude has happened, more questions will be asked from you. But there's somebody that is offering you a trip that takes you out. What if Khumalo says, I wanted to go to Paris? So that means that Chikotwala would have paid for that holiday. This is the time where she needs to be investigated too. But there's somebody that is already offering him a trip away from the investigation. I don't know if you see why that question was important, to say the emphasis on that, to say you were already offered a trip during the time when the investigation was fresh, when your memories were fresh, where you needed to give fresh evidence, but you were already offered a trip. Why? Why? There's significance there. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to this one. Do you remember that Mthokozisi said Kelly Khumalo refused to give the ID to some of to Mthokozisi and also to other family members of Senzo Meyiwa, right? Do you remember that? Oh, Tumelo, he gets there and then and confess and confirm that yes, and even gives details and name. He tells us, I forgot the name of the guy that lives in Soshanguve, that he drove all the way to Soshanguve. He arrived at Kelly Khumalo's homestead. That's when Kelly Khumalo was able to give them the ID, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, there were already family members of Senzo Meyiwa that were there. Even police, she will refuse to give the ID. The same ID that we know today that was used in doing the SIM swap. I don't know if you're saying 1 + 1, according to me it says 2, but to others it will say 11. So we've got the ones that are defending the Khumalos here, you know what I'm saying? There's a question that was made by the judge, or a statement that was made by the judge. The judge said something very important. Senzo Meyiwa is shot and there are people in the house, right? That's what the judge said. So he's shot and there are people in this house. The judge says the competent police would have confiscated your clothes. Your clothes should have formed part and parcel of evidence. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. You know why? Because it would have depicted, maybe Senzo Meyiwa's hands would have been depicted in their arms. That would have given us an idea that, oh, Senzo Meyiwa was now fighting with the people in the house. And as they were making sure that now he must die. Do you see what I'm saying? So, those were my highlight as far as this, the Tumelo cross-examination is concerned. We will look at some, maybe blending it with Advocate Mnisi, Advocate Khumalo, and Advocate Ramasipile during the weekend. But as far as Advocate Mshololo is concerned, and some of the most important evidence that will be used by all the defense counsel, it's already given through the cross-examination that is now given, that was conducted by Advocate Mshololo. So big up to Advocate Mshololo. Job done. Congratulations. Keep it up. We like it when you guys are doing what you are doing. We uphold and we applaud, and you know what I'm saying, we salute your work, guys. Yeah, so congratulations to them. Now I want to, as we are now heading towards the conclusion of this video, I want you guys to tell me this, ne? You have seen what have just occurred. You know what I'm saying? You have seen Tumelo exposing the Khumalos, right? And at some point in fact he exposed the Khumalos, all of them. Now, do you think we need more evidence that, as others are saying, that we are not lenient, we are not we are not loving the Khumalos? You know what I'm saying? Others people are accusing of that. Based on the evidence that has been presented to you right now, please tell me this. Do you see any reason why I should believe that the Khumalos are not guilty here? In fact, all of them, the ones that were in the house, do you see any evidence that should convince me otherwise, that these people are not suspect? I'm asking you because I now believe that the people who were in the house really has got some explanation to do. That's according to me. When now listening to this, you know what I'm saying? Do you believe that really these people who were in the house really knows nothing? This was just an innocent thing that happened in that house. I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying? Naba abo Chikotala. They arrived at the hospital. They just arrived there to cry. Yeah. Guys, I don't say anything much because I you know, it's even difficult, by the way, to go to malls these days. The way I'm receiving some hate, as the thing is, I'm continuing with this because I'm receiving more love than hate. But other people really don't want me to continue doing my analysis. And at some point, yeah, I do sense the danger, and I understand the danger that is associated with this thing. So yeah, I do feel the danger. I won't lie to you. I will need your prayers, you know what I'm saying, as I continue. Because yeah, the danger, you know, is there. Some people hate what I'm doing with passion. They just don't like what I'm doing. And mind you, I'm not necessarily, whatever I'm saying, I'm not gonna submit my thesis to the court, nor do I submit my thesis to the investigation unit. Perhaps maybe they hate what I'm doing simply because it just, maybe it makes sense to say more people out there, so they don't want a person that will continue to promote things that make sense to more people, hence the hate that I'm receiving. But one thing I know is that through your prayers, we will continue to do this until the end of this case. But I'm telling you this, hey, you hardly find me on the street. Ever since I started doing the analysis of this case, you hardly find me on the street because it is no longer safe for me to walk on the street, just walking on the street, because of the hate that I'm receiving from other people. But majority of people, really, they are giving me more love. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is those reasons that I'm saying, yeah, you will continue, guys. Please, you'll continue praying for me as I continue with this. I don't know my sin. I mean, I didn't kill anybody. I'm just weighing evidence that is already there. But the hate, hi. Nevertheless, thank you very much for watching thus far.